All right, now see this. I will never do that. I did not come to this country to do that. Education Minister denies misapplying 1.2 million. And Rebecca was Education Minister, we are 1.2 million. Or say, program Bia, World Bank is omunye, with to me, aye, omu training teachers 40,000. Inti information that were out to say, well, first I can a yentro, yentie the press conference, Asama Okaye, the response to this allegation.
That is the implementation agency for that component of the funding embark on the project of training 40,000 teachers. Platform was created. On that platform, teachers went there and they did the training. At the time that the project was about to come to an end, we had trained over 41,000 teachers. The World Bank then asked the development partners in Ghana to form a consortium and verify if the ministry has truly done the work so that they can release the 1.2 million. The development partners then came, looked at the platform, verified the list of people on the platform, and came to the conclusion that the work has been done. They sent me a letter congratulating me for having met the benchmark that they set for us, and therefore wrote to the World Bank to release the 1.2 million so that we can use the 1.2 million to embark of the project that will improve teaching and learning in the Gallup schools. As I speak with you, the amount is sitting in our account, ready to be used for its intended purpose, buying furniture, buying teaching and learning materials, ensuring that in Gallup schools, everything that they need can be done using the 1.2 million. So if anybody is saying anything, well, that I want to tell you is that the money was not intended for training. The training was to be supported by us. And once we can show that we have a skin in the game, that we are committed to the transformation of education in Gallup schools, then they will release the money, and that is what they have done. The good news is that the money is sitting in our account as I speak with you today.
Perfect. So the education minister has also come to tell us his part of the story, right? Now, Utien Yepa, and credit to Metro News, Metro TV, they actually interviewed the education minister. Now, sit back and analyze the statement, and I'll say the money wasn't for the training. In fact, training was supported by them. He's talking about over 41,000 teachers. If the training was supported by them, meaning the ministry, the government actually paid for the training of 41,000 teachers. I hope you are clear here. Now the question is, how much did we spend on the 41,000 teachers we gave those training to? Because every single person who was trained, catered for, anchor 1.2 million. It means we, the taxpayers, paid for that training. Whether we like it or not, the education ministry spent money on the training. So we want the education minister to come tell us how much was spent on the training. We are talking about 41,000 teachers. Now, remember, we buy no. You see World Bank action for over 3 months. Say he should just tell them training no, training no, how it has helped them physically, practically. They should let them know to date. Shut down for Bibia practical and share World Bank, and there were no response coming from the ministry. Now, the Ghana Education Services say they do not know anything about the $1.2 million. That's fine. Now, if there's going to be training of 41,000 teachers, there should be a coordination between the Education Ministry and the Ghana Education Service. This question goes to Ghana Education Service and the ministry. Ghana Education Service, those teachers who took part in this training, the 41,000 teachers, were they paid training? There were people who were teaching these 41,000 teachers. There were resource people, resource persons. There were materials they used. It means it's a lot of money to train 41,000 teachers. How much did we spend on these 41,000 teachers? We want to know. It's a simple thing. We want the education ministry to tell us how much they spent, and we also want the Ghana Education Service in collaboration with the ministry to tell us how much we spent. Now, he also spoke about how the $1.2 million is sitting in their accounts. Meaning, $1.2 million if you World Bank or no, abeka omunsa omaje. Now the question is, the $1.2 million now at your account, what is that money sitting in the accounts for? The $1.2 million now at the account, because utie na or can be say the 1.2 million was for desk, textbook, materials to support education in Ghana. Now, you know, check it timelines now. The 1.2 million has been sitting there for some time now. So how comes the $1.2 million sitting there? And recently the government told us they don't have money for textbooks for the new syllables. These are some of the things that I am trying to ask. And these things, they demand just reasonable answers. So until the finance or the education minister comes out to tell us, say, the 41,000 teachers now you train you mono cater for, or we actually bear the expenses. You know, how much did we put in? We are talking about 41,000 teachers. Now we have $1.2 million sitting in the education ministry account. That's fine. It's been sitting there for some time. As a minister of education, the kids are in school. They don't have books. They don't have desk. They don't have materials to learn. So why do we have $1.2 million sitting in an account doing nothing? The trick here is somebody is investing with the $1.2 million. Obi de akoto shares. And every month, Biano, $1.2 million, no, it yields something for the person. That $1.2 million, you could have sat there for over 8 months. And you know, if a tour for 8 months, you know how much dividends people make on the $1.2 million. Do not forget, because this is the situation the ministry is struggling. It needs money. And it has $1.2 million sitting there. The future of the kids is at stake. The kids don't have books. They don't have desks. They don't have materials to learn. We have $1.2 million sitting there. This is a man who said he has lived in the United States of America. Onim education. Onim how important it is. Now, ask me, say, to just put $1.2 million in accounts and sit there and seeing kids not having syllables, not having books, not having materials, desk to learn. And don't defend these kind of things. Your credibility is here. Don't pull it down. Our job is to probe, interrogate, ask questions, demand reasonable answers. For him to just come and say the $1.2 million is sitting there does not conclude that he has deliberately caused some kind of financial loss to the state. Let's ask him, how much did we put in? How much did we put in the 41,000 teachers training? How much did the ministry put in? How much did the education generate? We want to know these specifics before we can. See, at the $700,000, the shame they did training nipa 700,000. You better take free man. And Sasikana you did training nipa 41,000. We don't want to know how much we used in training those teachers, 41,000 teachers. We need to get serious in this country. This man is hiding something. He is lying. Obwa. The media, some of them are protecting this man. The media, some of them are protecting this man. Now, can he tell me, saying American or what? And now, only the head of the education ministry or whatever. Now you're the $1.2 million. I bet the ministry that counts him. Now, students don't have textbooks. There are no materials. There are no desk. He will be sitting there and telling you, say, let's keep the money. Somebody is investing that money. They are waiting for the money to yield, the money to make some profit before they release the money to the ministry. And the education minister knows. I will not speak on this again. I'll be coming with something to prove, say, the education minister is lying. Let's move forward.